Hey Aries, I'm going to do your monthly reading for February of 2018, and this can be for an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So I'm going to be working with 3 different decks, 2 tarot decks and 1 oracle. Each one this is going to be the Ethereal Visions. I just got this deck and I love it. The artwork is amazing and the guy who made it is just a really phenomenal artist. So I just wanted to share that deck. And then the Goddess Oracle deck, and then I'm going to be using the Spirit Song Tarot that works through animals. And we'll be doing the monthly forecast read. I'll be using 7 cards. Before I start, I'm going to do an energy clearing. Alright. So I'll start shuffling the first card. The first deck. And see what's going to be in store for you, Aries, for February. All right. The last card. All right. Sorry. Evened. All right. So let's start. So for you, with where you're going to be at the beginning of the month, we have a reversed, oh my goodness, sorry, I don't know where my brain is today. We have a reversed the Well. And it's this card. So let me meditate on this card for a second. Okay. So what I'm getting is there could be a lot of things you're going to be ending in this following month in February. You could be feeling really cold and stagnant in certain areas. I think you're kind of going through a transformation of like, this is kind of complicated. Let me like think clearly on this. You're going through some kind of transformation that has been kind of shaky for you. It could be emotionally, or like emotionally, physically, mentally, because this is the major arcana, which is like all elements in all areas of life. So, you know, I just think that there could be some things that you've been needing to end and change that have just been causing a lot of destruction and problems for you in areas that have just not been making you feel good. And you could have been just like staying in bad habits from like, you know, just how you've lived in the past and just being stagnant in that energy and not like moving things along into a more like fluid, easygoing flow that feels good, you know, and right. It could just be you might be stuck in a rut right now and you've had a hard time changing some things within yourself that have needed some changing. And that, you know, to just kind of like see that there is more ahead. There is more for you to look within and work on, as well as work on the outside physically. Things could feel a bit chaotic in the beginning of February, but to just be aware of the chaos happening and around you, and maybe what you've created for yourself that's been a little bit, you know, that's kept you a bit stuck in that energy, that's felt very, you know, heavy, and just finding ways to work yourself out of it and see it for what it is, and know that there are, you know, you can expand yourself from maybe this, you know, this process where you felt very stuck, and, you know, go into this, you know, transformation to, like, you know, let your, you know, knowledge and your skills and your inner beauty kind of flow freely, and seek, you know, what could be more nurturing for you, and, you know, and end, you know, what hasn't been nurturing you, because this is all about taking care of yourself this month, I feel like. So it's time to end things that are taking away from your well-being and start things that are going to help improve your well-being. And then the inner focus for this month, we have the 5 of Wands. So Wands are fire signs, which is you, Aries. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So I feel like, you know, your inner focus this month could be related to a lot of just like, how should I put this? Maybe, I feel like you've been dealing with a lot of conflict within yourself and things you haven't been able to agree on within you, like in resistance, and maybe you've been competing with others to get what you want. Because you can see these men are battling each other, you know, they're in their fiery, aggressive energy, and you guys are also fire signs, and when you're angry, you can be very upset and aggressive and just like dominating to get your way, and that could kind of be what's like holding you back from making progress, because maybe you're competing to get what you want, and you're to the point where you're like fighting over it with other people, and you're not taking the time to hear people out. You're disagreeing with everything that they're saying, and it's causing resistance, which is not like which is not helping you have harmony in your relations. And in order to, like, you know, make progress with where you're at, whether you're fighting and competing with other people to get a new job, or you're not getting along with your roommates and you're just bickering and you're fighting, you know, or if it's just internal, you know, stuff going on within you, like things you're fighting within yourself and you're not like at peace with yourself, whatever it is, like there is a lot of tension happening. But in order to, you know, stop this tension, you have to see it from the outside for what it is and say, okay, like I need to calm myself down. Like, you know, yes, you can be temperamental, Aries, but sometimes you have to calm down and soothe that fire within you to really see the big picture of what's really happening and how you should really go about this situation, because you're going to cause more harm than you are going to create something more beneficial if you're just going to keep fighting it and pushing it and forcing it, whatever it is. Like, you need to put down your guard and work through things in a calm, collected way so you can make better changes that aren't going to cause, you know, disruption and, you know, conflict and competition. Like, I just think the best method is to go about things peacefully and see it from the outside besides just from the inside, and having that inner focus of, if you do this in a more calm way, then you won't have such a negative reaction from yourself or from others around you. And then the outer focus for this month, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So Pentacles are earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So, you know, I think that the main outer focus for you is to learn like learn how to empathize yourself and others, and to be kind and generous and hospitable. Because if you have been dealing with a living situation, Aries, or a relationship where you guys have been fighting and bickering and you just haven't been seeing the light in things, because maybe you're stuck in the darkness of everything that's been gloomy and stuck and cold and stagnant, it's time to like do things a different way, where you see where the other person is coming from that you could have been fighting with or competing with. Understand, like, everyone is human and they're going through their own process, and if you can create like that balance, and see the harmony in people, not the harmony, but see like the positivity in others and what they offer, and just learning to be kind and do things in a more gentle way instead of just like pushing things to get your way. Because that's one thing I'm really getting, is like pushy energy, pushy aggressive energy to get your way and to get what you want, and that's not going to help you like grow and evolve in ways that are going to help you become a better person. Because like that just ends up pushing people away, and that could end up to be to your detriment, where you push the right people away because you were trying to get what you want, but only for yourself. And if it's not to others and it's just yourself, you could be pushing away having a balanced, calm relationship with yourself. I mean, it all reflects back. The relationship you have with yourself reflects back to your relationship with others, and to just learn to be more kind and generous and just empathizing where you're at and where others are at, and just knowing that this is a process and it's going to take some time to like work through these phases to make these changes. Then you can learn to accept it and surrender to the flow of what's happening, instead of just keep fighting it and disagreeing with it and just trying to have your way. Like, humble yourself to just know, like, everyone's going through their own process, including you. And it's very important to just understand that, like, every person in the situation is going through a growing phase, and it takes time to kind of realize, okay, like, I do need to step back a little bit and see this differently, and put my heart into something more, like, really, like, coming from a place of my heart and not my mind. Because the mind can be very rigid when you're trying to get your way, whereas your heart can be, more compelling you to do things in a more loving way. And that's kind of what I'm getting. The more you do this in a loving way from your heart space, and you're empathizing where you're at and where others are at, the easier it'll be to, create better changes for yourself, and, maybe find like better relations in your areas of career as well, because that connects to the material and the physical and career. So to not compete for, that job, or, compete to, be the better one in the house who pays the rent with your roommates to dominate. Like, that's not what it's about. It's just about harmony and balance and being good to one another, to have an easier, journey to where you're trying to go. And then later in the month, for what can help you, we have thrive in this area, or how you can thrive this month. We have the Two of Pentacles. So again, coming back to balance and harmony, the best way for you to thrive in this following month is to really like dive deeply in balancing how you go about your career, your relations, renewing your perspective and yourself, and how you're going to move forward and create these positive shifts so you're not stuck, and then adapting to the changes that are going to take place when you do. Because that's what it's all about, is with going with this fluid movement, but also being balanced in the process of going through the movement and the changes, and being at peace with it. And when you're at peace, like, you're balanced with everything, and you're not like, having to fight for, the change or what you're going through or what you're trying to make happen. It'll just naturally occur and like flow like smoothly. So it's just, again, changing the way your perception and how you go about doing this, not fighting others or yourself to have your way, but to then readjust your perspective, go about it in a more calm, loving way that's compassionate and kind, and just seeing the beauty in that and being in that version of yourself, so then you can create that balance and really find a renewed sense of yourself again, and that will feel like easier to go through when you're making changes. And then the struggle for this month, we have a reversed Hierophant. So what I'm getting from this card is, I think your struggle is being very hypocritical and rebelling against others and causing disruption and corruption and being disobedient, because that, I feel, is your biggest issue this month when you're trying to make progress in an area, whether it's in career or in your home life or in your relationship or just the relationship with yourself. You can cause rifts when you're, being so hard on others and like competitive and dominant, but then like you could be hypocritical to how you're treating others or yourself in the situation because maybe you have the same patterns, and then that's like causing all this disruption and you're not seeing things clearly because you're too stuck on what's happening on the outside and not what's happening on the inside. And that could be working against you, and that's where like kind of rebelling kind of comes into play, because you're not doing things that are going to help you. You're rebelling and doing what can be against you in the struggle of to just like, maybe to survive financially. Maybe you're in the struggle of feeling like you have to survive and you have to have your way to survive, but it's causing a lot of corruption and disruption in your space, and it's not being obedient to those that you're working with or to yourself. And so to just like have it in you to really like look within, seek that knowledge within to help you get out of this like rigid mindset and system you've been working in, to really learn and discover like how you can make a better structure for yourself and how you relate with others and how you go about your life, so it's not so chaotic and like all scattered and all over the place in ways that are just really like not making things peaceful and harmonious. It's just, like I said, causing a lot of disruption. And you're making it harder for yourself if you're just going to keep rebelling and being like, no, like, I don't care. It's going to be my way. I don't care who it affects. Like, I'm going to blaze through, and I don't, like, it doesn't bother me if it affects me or anyone else. I just need to have my way. Like, if you're going to keep going about it that way, Aries, then it's going to continue to be a struggle, and you're not going to be able to move forward. And that's why this is kind of coming up, is that's what's holding you back. That's what's causing you trouble and keeping you in this struggle. And so if you can see that and like take a moment to step back from the situation and really look at it, then you can see how you can move around these like issues and find ways to go about it in a healthier way that's not only going to disrupt others, but it will disrupt your life. And when you can do that, then you can make the progress to move forward from it and take these mistakes as lessons, so then you can grow and become a better person out of the situation and essentially get what you want by going about it in a healthy way that is really right for you, and also it's like right for the people around you too. And then for the advice for your month this month, for February, we have abundantia, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. So I'm going to read this card to you for the advice for February. So, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. You are very powerful, and I'm here to support your growing power. It's right for you to receive this help. As we function as a team, I've heard your prayers, worries, and affirmations. I'm pouring my cornucopia of prosperity upon you now, so expect unforeseen windfalls and gifts. Notice the new ideas, feelings, and visions within you. This guidance gives you clear direction about actions to take in conjunction with my assistance. Together, we're unstoppable. Be open to receiving. A new windfall of money is coming to you. You have nothing to worry about. Your new venture will be financially successful. Visualize and affirm abundance. Abundance comes to you in many ways, including extra time, support, and ideas. Yeah, so I just feel like don't be afraid to ask for help this month in areas where you have been struggling, because there are people out there who can help you get through, you know, this kind of muck you've been dealing with yourself and maybe with some people around you. And then to just know, like, you don't have to fight to survive, especially if it's in career and you're trying to make more money and get a new job. Like, you don't need to compete and fight with others. Like, just know, like, you know, you guys share this space together and you can have what you want. Just visualize what you want and know you'll be abundant in that way and you'll receive that. But you have to go about it in the right manner in order to receive, or else you're just going to block yourself from having it, you know, because if you're on guard and you're fighting, that's like energy that's going to block you. But if you're opening up and you're creating this balance, then that makes room for prosperity to work its way in. And then for the lesson of February, to wrap up the month, we have justice, truth and clarity. And then it's the crow, I'm pretty sure. So I'll read this card to you as well. So, let's see here. At the portal of shadow and light, the seen and unseen crow holds the gifts of ancient wisdom and sacred law. Her sharp perception illuminates the core of truth. She is able to discern what is fair, and she stands on guard to ensure that such fairness is fulfilled. As a bringer of clarity, Crow will assist you towards spiritual self-awareness, and standing by your personal integrity, you will awaken your authentic self. Balance is a continuous process on the road of adjustment. Weigh decisions carefully so as to bring everything back into balance. You are the orchestrator of your life. Consider the results of all actions taken, as your actions and thoughts shape your future. Keywords: truth, clarity, balanced thought, self-examination, adjustment, cause and effect, responsibility. Yeah, Aries, so just the lesson for this month is to seriously be aware about how you're going about taking your actions and your goals, especially if it's related to career or home life or relationship, whatever it is, to be very careful and precise about the decisions you're making and how that affects you and others, and making sure you're doing it for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons to just only benefit yourself. And to just be responsible in how you go about it and really examine everything in the situation from within and on the outside, and adjust to the changes. And just know when you do, then you can create that balance and see things clearly and go about it in a way that's honest and truthful to yourself and to others, and that will create better results for your future and what you're creating. So to just be mindful of your actions are the power that creates how your life is going to play out. So if you do things in a negative way, you're going to create negative reactions. But if you do it in the right way and you humble yourself in the process, then you'll be abundant in what you receive in return. All right, Aries, that's it for the month of February I have for you. I hope it was helpful. If you want to do a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can go to the description link box below to my Instagram, Mystic Yasmin, and send me a message. Have a blessed day, and until next time, Aries.